nav set, previously identified flight plans up on the number 1. GPS number 2 is initialized. Radars standby. Suction and pneumatics are normal. Auto feather. Auto feather is armed. Flight engine instruments. Single needle VOR and dual needle ADF. GPS selected. After start checklist complete.
MAF really is the world's largest organization of bush pilots.
Okay, MAF is a technical mission that works with the church around the world to support the church by transportation and communication.
We are a mission organization that serves about 300 different humanitarian and evangelical mission groups around the world.
We're the behind-the-scenes guys. We're a service mission, and people that work for MAF have technical backgrounds and a heart to serve.
MAF has served now for almost 60 years in the most remote places in the world, providing transportation and communication solutions in the access challenged places of the world.
If we weren't there, most of these organizations would tell you that if MAF pulls out, we're going to pull out too.
MAF is really our lifeline out here. A lot of the things that we need here are carried by MAF. There's just no way we could really function without that kind of support here.
And as soon as we heard they were coming, we started making plans to come back as well, because that was our sign that we could get back in here. We knew that we would have a service that would allow us to function out here.
We were able to fly over, drop the IV cannulas out, and they fell to the ground, and within 10 minutes they had an IV line up on those patients, so they were able to save their lives. So that was an example of the sort of very quick care that we were able to give with MAF's help.
And to think about not having MAF at all, that's almost my worst nightmare. I can't imagine how we would conduct business the way we do right now and the way we minister.
The MAF pilot is a professional pilot who flies daily.
Many people, when they hear of a bush pilot, they think of someone who flies by the seat of their pants, close to the train and in rugged and in dangerous situations. And actually, MAF does do those things, but with safety in mind.
People will say, oh, you guys are the bush pilots. And yeah, we do fly in those kind of conditions, but I guess we like to more call it we're professional pilots that fly in the bush.
With the special stuff like short takeoffs and landings, maximum takeoffs and landings, maximum performance.
A majority of our airstrips are dirt, grass, some have hills, some have bends, landing on rivers.
Flying into mountainous terrain and learning how to maneuver in the valleys and keeping yourself always open and having out.
It's a challenging environment to work in.
Most of our programs are located on the equator, and consequently weather patterns are very unpredictable, not like they would be on a large landmass area like the United States.
Wow, that's the worst weather we've had all year, and you have to make decisions like this all the time, and it's hard for newer pilots. You got to be here a while to understand the difficulties. At Niniya, if we left too late, we wouldn't get over and back to Wamena. If we stayed, we were going to be shut in. And so as we were climbing out, I didn't expect to see it that high. We were at 10,000, had to go 11, 12. We finally ended up at 14, saw a way over the top, and then I knew we had it made into Wamena. I also knew that if I had to, I could go back to Niniya. But once we're in between, then we're committed to go, and we saw that we had it made, and we got back here. And days like this happen once in a while, and we just got to be ready to make those kind of decisions.
And so a typical day in the life of an MAF pilot would be fighting with weather, interacting with passengers, handling cargo, and all of these things at all of the airstrips. And then probably washing the mud off the airplane and putting it away for the evening.
We're the only ones out there. We set up a hangar, and we set up flight operations. And if we have an airplane problem, we can't take it to a commercial shop to fix it. There's nobody there. So we're the mechanics too.
Maintenance. I love maintenance.
Preparing our own horse for battle, so to speak. We groom the horse, we shoe the horse, we make sure that it's well fed, we monitor its health. And in so doing, we keep in tune with the tool that we're using day by day by day in these difficult airstrips and difficult environments.
Our pilots don't necessarily do all of the work on the airplanes. We have some full-time mechanics as well.
it's really important for me to be there as a maintenance specialist, because I'll be dedicated to doing the maintenance. And that allows the pilot mechanics to do the flying that they need to do.
MAF staff families are pilots and also mechanics, but the most important thing is that everyone is working together to proclaim the gospel in both their lives and where they're living.
You got to really buy into why you're out there, because the challenges of the cultural barriers, living in another country, and you'll start asking yourself, why am I really here? And if you don't have a heart for the reason why we're there, which is to support the church to get the gospel out, that you're not going to survive that. You can't just like flying. You can do that anywhere.
Well, I'm technically skilled, and MAF enjoys utilizing their technical tools in mission work. Our purpose for being out in these remote areas is not to fly, it's not to provide the airplane, but we're there because we want to see the lost come to know Jesus Christ, to see disciples made. And we do that sort of indirectly as we offer these technical skills to the mission organizations and the local national church, but we also do it individually as we minister among the people and build relationships.
You know, it's for God's glory. That's why I do it, and just appreciate the opportunity to be able to do it.